going high, it is going up, and in particularly in your region it is going down. So something is wrong with you. Then reprimand for decline in sales in spite of attractive commission and publicity campaign. Make a point that you have been given attractive discount, attractive commission. Then there was also a comprehensive publicity campaign, and even though it is going down, so it is a matter of worry. Then ask for the explanation why this is happening. So ask him to explain or to give you the reasons for this. If there is no, you can also make a point that if there is no improvement in sales figures in near future, in spite of your warning, you can make a point that you will have to rethink over the renewal of the agency. Next year, it might not be renewed, or it might be terminated if there is no improvement in the sales targets. Then at the last, finally, you can ask the agent to feel free to come out with his problems and possible suggestions if he has. So if he has any problems, ask him to come to you. And with joint discussions, you can do better. Then there is the reply to the reprimand. This is the letter from agent's side to the principal. Here he is explaining the reasons why the sales are going down. So in the first paragraph, you can acknowledge the letter and express that you are also worried the same, or you are also worried at the same level. Then give concrete reasons for the decline in sales, why the sales are going down. For example, the possible reasons for this may be heavy dumping of cheaper goods from China market. Then there can be another reason like wide and tempting publicity campaign by other companies. You can also suggest that there is need to improve the quality of the products. You can also make a point that there is a need to launch a comprehensive publicity campaign, because publicity campaign or advertising is a backbone of any business. You can also suggest your principal, the manufacturer, to offer some attractive gift schemes with your products. Then appreciate the principal's helping attitude and assure for improvement in the sales in near future. Then there is the next letter, friends, surrendering an agency. This is the letter written from the agent's side to the principal. To surrender the agency means to give the agency back, to return the agency back to the principal. For example, for any reason, he is not ready to continue with this business, or he doesn't want to continue this agency. So he will return this agency to the company, and this is called surrendering an agency. The points to be remembered here are, for example, in the first line, you can express sorry to the principal for surrendering the agency. Then you have to give concrete reasons why you are surrendering this agency. The possible reasons for this may be comparatively less commission. For example, other companies are giving higher commission, more commission, but you are not giving us higher commission. So we are not able to do more business. So we are giving, or we are returning the agency back. Then very small range of products. There is not a wide range of choice for the customers. So customers prefer to buy another product rather than this product. You can also make a point, for example, if you are having an agency for TV sets or electronic items, but now you are from electronic items, now you are switching over to hardware items, or maybe now you are switching over to garment business. So you are switching over to another business, and that is why you want to surrender this agency. Then, for example, after settling the whole business here, means for the lifetime you are going to settle in abroad. So it is not possible for you to continue the agency here in India if you are settling it abroad. So for this reason also, you can ask the principal to surrender the agency or to give the agency back. Here you have in the beginning you have given the deposit, security deposit, so you can request for refund of the deposit money after settling the final accounts. Then you have been doing business for these years with that principal, with that company. So thank the principal for his support and cooperation for all these years. Then assure him to part with them amicably. So in friendly nature, we are departing, or we are discontinuing from this business. Then the next letter is termination of agency. Friends, this is the letter written from the principal's side, from the company to the agent. For example, if the agent is not performing well, if he has been repeatedly warned to increase his sales targets, but still he is not performing well, he is not improving his conditions or his sales targets, so the principal, the company can get the back. That is called terminating an agency. he is terminating the agency. Here, you can inform the agent with regret about a decision for termination of agency. Then give specific reason. See, for anything you have to give specific reasons. The reasons may be heavy and constant decline in sales. Repeatedly he has been warned, he has been asked to clarify the reasons for this, but he has never paid attention to any suggestions from the principal. So he is not seen interested in doing the business. He is not sincere in doing the business. That is why you are going to terminate the agency. You are going to get back the agency. Then you can also have more reasons for this. Quite irregular. For example, if the agent is quite irregular in submitting the sales reports, or maybe in settling the accounts, in paying the accounts, in paying the final bills. Maybe many complaints have been received from the customers and he is still not improving. So for this reason also you can terminate the agency. And all these reasons force us to terminate the agency. Then ask to refund the deposit money on settling the final accounts. Friends, here you are ending the agency correspondence. Now I hand over the next discussion to my learned friend Professor Chetan Joshi. He will talk on secretarial correspondence.
Good morning, everybody. Today we are going to talk about secretarial correspondence. See, as we know that so far secretary is concerned, so as we know, he or she is the very important, very key person of the company. The total image, the total what is called brand value of the company is dependent upon the secretary herself or himself. See, today we are starting with what is the secretarial correspondence and what is secretary. See, as I told you, secretary is very important person in the company, and therefore as we can say that secretary is the key person in the joint stock company. As per Companies Act, he or she handles routine duties of administration, writes letters, agenda and minutes of meetings. He also drafts a resolution on behalf of the company. See, whenever there is a meeting of the company, whether it's a meeting of a board of directors or with the shareholder, that means general meeting. So in all these meetings, he has to send the agendas to the persons, to the people who are associated with the company, and he has to maintain. He has to what is called work upon whatever is process is going on in the company. See, here we have a definition, something like that. Whitehead notes that the office secretary is the power behind the work of many executives, as he does more to promote the efficiency of the organization than any other occupation. His work is felt in all aspects of organization because he is the key link between the executives or top management, board members, panels or committee, and the other workforce and also the shareholders. Now, any communication of the company is always to and by the secretary. See, whenever we write to the company and whenever company writes to the persons who are associated with it, the communication is always go through and to the secretary. Now, therefore, as I told you, the image of the company, the brand name of the company, the brand value of the company is totally based on secretary. Therefore, wherever and whenever he communicates with the people or with the what is called body member of the company, his language should be polite one, because as we know that the only medium in a, so far joint stock companies are concerned, they are having very wide range of what is called shareholders, and many people are associated with the companies. So only and only the communication or the written words are important to the secretary, because whenever he communicates with the people, he has to write down, he has to draft the letters, and therefore the language he uses or she uses in while communicating, it should be polite one. Now, he has the total value, as I told you, the total brand image of the company is dependent upon the secretary. Therefore, he has to keep in mind the what is called establishment of the company.
And I would like to interrupt Professor Joshi here. Very nicely, you said that the secretary is the key person.
Yeah.
He is the
Yeah.
role model for the company.
Yeah.
So if he's he rarely gets a chance
Yeah.
to express his body language.
Yeah.
So by body language he can't express this because you are
can't,
writing
yeah.
it
Yeah.
in letter.
Yeah.
So if your language is polite
Yeah.
and you are humble in your attitude when you talk, it makes a lot of difference. That's why he says that a brand, the total company depends on his communication.
Yeah, that's
sorry,
right.
sorry for
Okay.
interrupting
No,
you.
it's-
Please
it's
continue.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. See here, as a secretary of the company, he has to deal with the board of directors, with the employees, with the shareholders, with public, and sometimes with SEBI and government also. See, whenever the board of directors, what is called, as we know that they have appoint secretary to deal with the persons who are associated with the company. Therefore, whenever a situation arises and whenever they want to arrange a meeting or all these things, so they approach to the secretary, and secretary, it is a secretary who has to arrange all these things. Now, it is also like with the employees itself themselves, because whatever difficulties are facing employees or whatever their issues are there, so they have to communicate with the secretary, and secretary has to answer their what is called their queries and questions. It is also with the shareholders. If shareholders are what is called somebody's what is called he or she hasn't received the dividend warrant in a particular time, so he or she, the shareholders, writes to the secretary. He has to give answer to the shareholder, and with the secretary has also to deal with the public itself, because as we know that when IPO comes in the market, so many people apply for the shares of the particular company, but many of them do not get, and therefore anybody who is what is called dissatisfied with the act, and he or she writes to the secretary demanding the explanation why he or she is not allotted any of the shares. So then the secretary has to write down to the that kind of person who are not associated with the company, and therefore we call them people. Those the secretary has to deal with the SEBI itself and sometime with government itself. See here, so far our syllabus is concerned, so the chief letters we are going to look at, they are with the shareholders only. The first letter, the secretarial correspondence, as we know that he has to deal with the person. Suppose there is a person who had applied for the shares, but he is not allotted any of the shares. Now, as we know that there are certain rules and regulations, and while allotting shares, the company has to follow the guidelines given by the SEBI and government, other government organization. Therefore, there are least possibilities of what is called bias and prejudices. But if someone is not satisfied, and the person who has applied, he is not familiar with the situation, then sometimes he writes to the secretary of the company why I have been not allotted on any of the shares. So while writing this kind of letter, we have to keep in mind this kind of points. Reply to the letter non-receipt of what is called dividend refund order. See, these are the letters we are which we have to consider here: non-allotment of shares, reply to the letters, non-receipt of refund order, non-receipt of dividend warrants, request to revalidate dividend warrants, concern about declining profit, amalgamation or merger of the companies, reply to all these letter, transfer to the demat shares, conversion of physical shares to demat. So while drafting, writing this kind of letter, we have to keep certain points in mind. See, first of all, we have to look at the non-allotment of letter, non-allotment of shares. So while writing this kind of letter, we have to keep in mind certain points. In very first paragraph, we have to give details regarding the number of shares applied for and the amount.
Paid.
And in second paragraph, received refund order and all these details when we have I have received the refund order and all these things. And in third paragraph, we have to ask him for explanation and the scheme about the allotment. So all these points should be kept in mind. While as a secretary, when we have to reply this kind of letter, so in a very first paragraph, we have to confirm, I have received your letter and sorry to know, Miss Apology, we have to express. And then in second paragraph, the scheme of allotment as fair as it could be. Here we can highlight all these things that this allotment was done as per the SEBI guideline. All these things here we can write. And then we can also say that the whole system of allotment was computerized, followed the policy of government and guideline by SEBI, all these things. And in concluding paragraph, we can wish better luck to him or her. Okay, now another letter, non-receipt of refund order. Sometime what happens, somebody applies for the shares, but he or she is not allotted on any of the shares, and he or she doesn't get the refund order in time. So while writing this kind of letter to the secretary, in very first paragraph, we have to give details regarding the number of shares applied for and the amount paid for this. And in second paragraph, received neither allotment letter nor share certificate, even after a long duration or long time has been passed. All these things we have to keep in second paragraph. And in the concluding paragraph, we have to request to look into the matter and do necessary whatever is there. See, now as a secretary, suppose we have received this kind of letter of a person who has not received refund order. So while replying this kind of letter, we have to keep these points in mind. First of all, in very first paragraph, whenever you are replying, you have to confirm that your letter or I have received your letter. Okay, and when as the person has not got refund order, therefore we have to say sorry or we have to apologize. Okay, now in second paragraph, while replying to that kind of letter, refund order already sent and detail of refund order number and amount, all these things should be stated down. And you have to say that we have already sent the refund order, but might have been delayed or lost in refund in a refund number and amount. Okay, now in concluding paragraph, we have to send him a form of mandate to get dividends electronically, because as we know that nowadays
Communication is
now
quite faster.
was quite faster, and as we know that so many things are getting computerized, and therefore there is no need to get the dividend warrant in physical form. So it can be electrified also, and therefore we can say him that along with this letter I am sending the form to get your dividend electronically. And as the person has got the difficulties, inconvenience, so therefore we have to feel sorry for his or her inconvenience. Okay, now as we know that there are 10 to 11 letters in the secretarial practice and secretarial correspondence, but the letters which are having practical importance, I have tried to emphasize on them only, because the time doesn't permit to look at all these letters. And therefore, the very last letter we are going to discuss about the conversion of physical shares to demat. See, nowadays, as we know that since for 5 or 6 years, as we know that demat account is mandatory for what is called share trading. And therefore, the person, suppose who had bought a share before 10 years or 15 years, and now he wants to sell his shares. So without demat account, it is not possible to share what is called sell the shares, and therefore he writes. Therefore, sorry, previous one. So here we have to, the person who wants his shares dematerialized, or he what is called he wants to get his shares into demat account. So in very first, while writing, see, this letter is generally written by the shareholder. So while writing this kind of letter, in very first paragraph, we have to highlight the things as per the requirement of SEBI. That means Securities and Exchange Board of India. I want to get my shares dematerialized, and then after the person has to what is called write down the client number, and then after in another paragraph, details of shares that are to be transferred. That means the share number and the quantity of the shares. All these things are to be mentioned in at here, and in a last paragraph, request to complete the formalities, because as we know that there are some formalities